Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Rick, here to welcome you to the analysis of Come Hither, Go Yonder. This is kind of a corollary to the video I put out called Melodic Style Meditations. Because I put so much effort into learning this tune, it's just taken me a little longer to come out with it. But I also wanted to illustrate the kind of content that goes on my Patreon, because these, like, I don't know, they tend to be like 30-minute, maybe 40-minute analyses of the songs that I do. And I do these analyses for every single one of the songs that I put out. And I have for about the past couple years, at least as far as like the repertoire series go. So it's not like the base tier, but it's the tier above. It's just not the base tier, but all the other tiers have access to these analyses. So I just wanted to kind of put one out there and just kind of show you guys generally, I guess, like how my mind thinks, because the melodic style meditations video was very well received by people. And a lot of people reached out to saying, oh, it's nice to see that, like, you don't just like come out with all this just like endless, just like hot fire, these licks after licks. And it's just like, nice to see like more of my process. Cause like, goddamn, I practiced this song for maybe 2 weeks. And yeah, it was probably like 2 weeks. And then I recorded it. And then I got the mandolin, the bass, the guitar done on the 3rd week. And now here I am, like getting the video together. I guess all the rest of the content. So that being said, I'm really excited to just kind of share with you guys, I guess, how I think and put like another analysis on the YouTube. Other than that, I am accepting new students, so reach out to me if you're looking to learn some stuff from me. You can get at me either in the comments or rickymeyer.com/lessons. So all that being said, if anything comes to my mind about that, I'll bring it up. But that being said, let's go through and we can analyze this tune, Come Hither, Go Yonder, which is a Bill Monroe tune that, like I said in the Melodic Style Meditations, that I have never, like in Boston, California, and Colorado, nobody ever calls this tune, but I have heard Mike Munford, Bela Fleck, and Jens Kruger all say, like, you know, offhand, if there's a song you want to jam on, it'd be like, you know, Come Hither, Go Yonder, and they play this, like, you know, badass, that kind of thing, which is more like a brushy mandolin style. So anyways, you guys probably saw the video of me playing. Let's see, it's funny because a lot of the pieces I have in this, it seems like it's a lot of information, and I feel almost like bad coming out with videos like this, because, or like the tablature, it's like, who's gonna want to learn this? It's just too complicated. It's just too much. But for me as a banjo consumer, like what I like, it's not that when I get tab, I want to learn the whole thing. It's more like I just want to take little pieces and invent with it. So that's what I see is valuable about especially melodic style, because melodic style has, you know, just like all sorts of like little toys and possibilities of things you can play, and then getting into them and then going out of them is kind of like what I would practice. So like I said, I'm not really expecting people to learn all of Come Hither, Go Yonder, but I am, you know, putting it out in good faith that people are going to be turned on by the ideas. Because how I practice, I mean, you know, another part of like why I wanted to learn this song is just like, it felt good just to push myself instead of just coming out with a bunch of stuff I could improvise. It felt good just like dig deeper into melodic style arpeggios and come up with, you know, compose a solo that may be where I am as an improviser in the future. So that being said, it's like a lot of the ideas in this arrangement are just little chunks of things that I have worked out, like probably, you know, 15 to 20 different ways to play. And then this song is kind of how, like this arrangement is kind of how they kind of fell out, how they improvised. But behind it, as you saw in the Melodic Style Arpeggios video, like each one of them, like I didn't use like maybe like 90% of the ideas from that. But I did practice them, and I did try to become somebody new. I did try to become a new player from it. So that being said, I don't want you to learn all this, but I do want to explain the ideas behind all this stuff. So here's the intro. This thing. So I just kind of made that up. That's not exactly how Bill Monroe played, at least like the intro. Oh, another thing. This tune is actually in A, so you got to play it capo 2. I changed the chords so we don't have to call like. We don't have to call the 5th fret the 7th fret, and we don't have to call like an A chord a G. So now it's all just in G. So that's very easy for us banjo consumers to understand. So this guy, that intro, it has like a few different melodic places. Here's the first one. I call that an alpha G. Also, that's a G5 because it's kind of like a power chord. You're not gonna play G major, and G minor is also kind of wrong. So we play G5, which is more like how I learned at Berklee College of Music to call a power chord, which means it excludes the third. So it's neither major nor minor, but a G5 or a G power chord. So that being said, for the rest of the transcription, all of these are just going to be G, like all of it's just going to be G5. Even like the D is going to be like D5. C can be C major, C minor. I don't know. It's kind of like pick your flavor, whatever you want to do. Okay, so this little motive right here, that's coming out of an alpha G minor. You see, I see really like right there, that little reverse roll, and I like to do these guys forward and backward, right? So it has that middle reverse roll on your alpha G minor. So that's like, it's that guy up the octave. That's just like, yeah. So anyways, so thumb 2 and then middle reverse. That's how I see it. You got to get your thumb on that, do the foggy mountain reach around. And like I said, this is like a bunch of little ideas because this guy, there's a lot of motifs that you can get out of it. There's a lot of juice you can get out of this dude. You'll see later, like, that's another roll you can add just on that chord. Here's another one. Like that's another one that's all based out of that. So that alpha G minor is gonna be a shape that we're gonna be revisiting a lot. But in this case, we're doing it's a 5-note roll, 2 thumb and then middle reverse. This right here is an inside roll because your middle finger is playing the 2nd string. So that's an important distinction, something to know. Okay, this guy, I don't know. I guess I first saw Alison Brown do this. So I don't know. I always refer to that as the Alison Brown lick. So anyways, that's kind of on a G minor, kind of out of the beta G minor position, kind of like a forward backward roll, but it's really an alternate index. And then this guy is a very important little melodic style. You see, it's like forward, kind of like a reverse right there, and then you have another forward roll. So the reason this guy is able to be played so quickly because it has a lot of forwards and a lot of reverse rolls. Yeah, so that position right there is a really nice kind of G minor melodic position. But really, it's like the roll is the more important thing. Okay, cool. And then we got like a Bob Dobalina style thing. Bob Dobalina. So that's middle, and that's kind of like feigning a forward roll into the square. And then this guy, I just resolved. I resolved to do single string. And just, I know, it just came out of me. I mean, I was like, there's a bunch of different Scruggs style ways that I got away with doing that, but in this one, it came out of me naturally, just single string because it was much tighter the melody, and the whole band is just going like this. So this, that's just what came out of me. So anyways, that's all the same right there. That's just that really just kind of navigating that alpha G minor and then this kind of like beta G minor melodic style position with forward and backward rolls. And then I played a 5 minor, and that holds for a few beats. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna go on to the first break with this guy. That's like, it's kind of like that guy. But what we do is we basically start on the beta F chord, and then end on the open 5th string. It's a really good position to know as a little kickoff going into like whatever minor song you may be going to. So that's a great kickoff going to like a G minor tune. Very Scruggs song. Yeah, and like, and how I like to practice this stuff, like I said, there's going to be a lot of different ideas in here, but what I like to do is just take one and move it around and figure out how to master it and come up, like, you got to do what George Washington Carver did to the peanut. You got to invent. Like, you just got to take one thing and do it a bunch of different ways in order to have it become a part of who you are as an improviser in the future. That's... And then doing that while breathing will kind of like unlock, your muscles so you can open up and have that kind of motion become a little more easy. Okay, so that was a very long little introduction. I will speed up. So here is the basic melody. so yeah, that one I worked out a lot, but basically the idea here is this melodic scale. It's kind of like, it's basically coming out of like an alpha B flat, but it is like G minor notes. So if you play this little piece just like straight forward, and then forward and backward, you see what I'm doing is I'm just trying to mess around to get the roll more into my muscle memory so it can be this thing that comes out of me more fluidly. I guess that's going to be a big theme of the coming, I guess, like, you know, the more of the beginner series that I want to come up with. I really want to instill the idea of banjo meditation towards the cultivation of banjo consciousness. Like I'm saying, this is not classical music. This is how I want to improvise. And what that takes is you got to play one thing a bunch of different ways. And in this case, we fix the roll and then mess around with the notes. What I was doing, mess around with the notes on the 1st and 4th string. So anyways, that was the idea, and that's generally how I'd practice this. So, and that's the actual melody. It's nice because it plays that little bum ditty on the 5th string twice. So it has a really strong feel of melodic style banjo. Anyways, okay, this guy, that's Bob Dabalina. Surely you've seen my video on that. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Bob. It's just Bob Dabalina is the same rhythm as that. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Bob. Yeah, okay, cool. So, and yeah, that's just basic Scruggs style. Index to an index forward, right? That 8th note is very important at the top. Into the index forward. This right here, that's, of course, Foggy Mountain Breakdown. That right there, you just got to do index, middle, thumb, middle. In the right hand, 1, 2, thumb, 2. Yeah, and then get your pull-offs nice and snappy. And you want your pull-offs to be as loud as the notes that's plucked. Okay, cool. This is another little Bob Dabalina, index to an index forward on that kind of G7. Okay, now this is a little Scruggs style thing. So what's going on there? It looks like, so you skip the forward roll right there, but that is straight middle forward. That's just 8 notes of a middle forward. And when I say middle forward, that's a forward roll starting on the middle finger, playing that like kind of G power chord. And then this guy right here, alternate middle to a middle reverse. So again, this is like a roll nomenclature I have. So that's an alternate middle roll, 2, 1, 2 thumb, into a reverse roll starting on the middle finger. And I guess another thing to note, just like to note the notes that we're looking at, which is generally like a G minor pentatonic thing. Yeah. Again, this is Foggy Mountain Break. Oh, oops, sorry. That guy right there is Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Okay. Okay, now this part, I gotta say, I really outdid myself on that one. You see, it's like a perfect double forward roll right there. It's Bob Dabalina the same, but that right there, like it basically is Scruggs style, but it's melodic style, and it's just so slick. Those 2 forward rolls and this chromatic thing. I think I bend that 6-2 a lot. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, this is all the same. That's all the same. Oh, here's a lick. That one I had to fish for. I had to look for it, and I got to figure out like what's something that I could do that's easy. Yeah, it's nice because that's like the mandolin. Like you all know that brushy mandolin style where he's just like playing all. That's my Scruggs style impersonation of that. So actually, it's actually the same roll twice in a row almost. Well, it feels like it, but it's like. So So this thing that I've highlighted is actually a perfect forward roll. And there's something to be said that we're going to revisit later on in this video of like that the power of index forward rolls on the second string playing minor pentatonic stuff. So this is like yeah, so anyways, you just gotta, it's just like, you know, forward roll, end on that B flat thing, and then this guy, yeah, forward rolls, backward rolls, and then you just gotta watch for that little junction that happens right there. Right here, standard Scruggs style. Okay, cool, let's move on to the next half. This, I think this is more or less the same. Let's play through it and see what happens. Okay, cool. So there are a few more ideas. This is all the same. That guy's all the same. This thing is, again, power on that index forward roll. End it with the pinches. You feel that, but what this is, how I understand, like where those notes and da 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 da. How I understand that, that's the chord extensions. You're starting on the 5th, going up a 3rd to the 7th, and then from the 7th going up a 3rd to the 9th, and you could go up one more to the 11th, but it's just you're just going up diatonic thirds. So that whole thing would be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then like 13 to continue the sound. So anyways, that's the idea. It's they're chord extensions. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and then it goes back to 1. But that's that sound, and I just really like it. Those are just thirds. And then back into the melody. Okay, cool. Now we have this thing. Okay, so this is definitely a lick that made it from the melodic style meditations video. I practiced this one a lot. This thing. That thing is a motif that I really just like played, and now it's more a part of me. But you just got to get that little hammer on. You got to, you know, devolve yourself to the claw hammer state. I'm kidding. I love claw hammer banjo. But there is something primal about hammer-ons that I did a lot when I was a kid, and I really haven't been doing that much because since I got, you know, all high-minded and single string. But now I'm realizing that you can get so much power and sound from hammer-ons. You just got to see it as a part of the melodic style and really embrace it. Yeah, like when I was a kid, I didn't use my pinky at all. I just used these 3 fingers, and I didn't really start using my pinky until like 4 years into playing banjo, maybe 5. It's like crazy. Like when I started practicing scales, I went to high school. That's when I started in 2005, and then like in 2012 is like when I started practicing scales. So it's like crazy how much I got away with really not using my pinky at all. Anyways, but this like not avoiding hammer-ons is like a vestige of my old self that I'm getting back into. So this position right here, that 5 and 8, we haven't really visited that, but it's kind of like, it kind of goes hand in hand with but now we're going to add one more note into that scale. But now, whoops. Now you can see those notes right there. It's a nice little minor pentatonic melodic scale. And then you just tie it with that hammer on. And as you'll see later, we can change the chord, like I played one with a 5 chord. Keeping the roll, changing the notes is a big part of exploring melodic style. So anyways, that's that. Here's another thing that came up a lot. That lick is a part of a larger series, and I talked about this, and I think I explicated this one very well in the melodic style arpeggios. It's just a part of this thing. And then this last lick is just like one that it's just like a good escape. A minor, you keep the melodic style, you keep the minor pentatonic sound, but also keep like the Scruggs style roll. You see, it's middle reverse and then a square. Yeah, middle reverse and then a square. And then this thing is actually entirely a forward roll. It's so good out of that kind of beta F. And then you come at it with that scale before. So if I were to practice this again, like you got to learn how to do it forward and backward, like I talked about in the melodic style arpeggios. But what you want to do is you want to emphasize like where the downbeats. Hopefully I did a good job, but you can see, this is what I watch for when I watch myself, is where I'm reorienting myself along the line of like when I'm playing some like big melodic thing, like that solo. Like we'll get to that, but like there's like, how do you get out of that single string phrase? It's just like you just orient yourself by the downbeat, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's how I do it. Okay, cool. Now here is like the big melody, and we already kind of did this a little bit. So all that we basically talked about. The only thing that's different is like, say for instance, this measure. I just got that B flat and the C note on the 3rd and 4th strings instead of the 2nd and 3rd. Just because it's more playable, and again, it's one of those things that I really worked on. Like, I don't know, like I said, like Jens Kruger wants you to express the note, not necessarily the mechanism behind it. And for me, I've always been so mechanical. I'm trying to like step into more of the note. And in order to get that, the banjo is just so complicated. You have to learn how to play the same thing 100 different ways, unfortunately. And this way, and this, that it's like you get the same roll, but one's here and then one's here. Because then when you get the premonition, when like the divine gives you a message to improvise those notes, hopefully your fingers just throw for it. And because you practice it over and over again in a handful of different ways and just trying to get a flow out of it, you know. Like, I don't know, I just try to get that same roll. Again, that's the big theme here. Keep the roll, change the notes. So anyways, that's what's going on there. Yeah, there's a square roll. That guy already talked. Okay, let's talk about the second solo. So this guy, this one I definitely talked about in the melodic style meditation. This is a big one that came through. But the idea is that minor pentatonic, like melodic style banjo sound, I never really figured out. But this thing, it's just like. So that like we already kind of did. So you can see that forward roll, now it's displaced, but that was the same roll we did earlier. Except now we start with that. Yeah, and then you come out of it with those two middle reverse rolls. So you can see it's like that. This scale. That's going to be a very important one to get yourself familiar with, and this is just a pattern out of that. And in the melodic style arpeggios, I wrote out like I didn't know it before, and so I just tried working out forwards and backwards, and now okay, like stick it in a solo. So this is like I just took a slice of it and stuck it in, and really tried to internalize this little motive. And then that's just like a little Scruggs style thing. Yeah, and the interesting thing is that right there is actually middle forward, right? It's a really slick little forward roll, so it just kind of plays itself. Even actually starts right there. Yeah, I don't know. It's more natural to play. And then, of course, this little square roll. But you just got to be comfortable looking for the G minor notes on the 4th string. Okay, and then, whoops, sorry. Okay, and then this guy, little Bob Dabalina. Wait, no, I skipped a section. Oh yeah. And then yeah. So it's a. So that's the thing. So anyways, we talked about that melodic style motif. Okay, so now this thing is just like more of a jam grass like kind of solo, and this is more or less how I like to solo. This rhythm of yeah, I don't know I just kind of improvised it, and then I did what we call motivic development. So this is the motif, and I did that three times. And then the third time, of course, I changed it a little bit, but it's a melodic motif coming. It's a rhythmic motif coming at it with that double forward roll, so slick. And then, of course, you get it. You land it with the Foggy Mountain breakdown on that. And yeah, and then you go back into the melodic thing right there. But anyways, that guy right there. Yeah. So anyways, that's what's going on there. Yeah, it's got a nice development. And of course, the notes that I'm aiming for are all from the minor pentatonic. So that's like the flat third, 4, flat 5, 5. Okay, cool. What is next? And then we do this. That whole thing is the same. Okay, now there's this lick. That thing that we were looking at earlier. Now this is a different. It's the same roll, but now we're kind of, I don't know, I hang out, I do have little banjo hangs with Cassidy Benchess a lot, and he turned me on to this. I think he played something very similar to this. So anyways, it's like an E flat lick. But it's the same roll. Again, a little hammer on right there. But after practicing that, it's the same roll. And after practicing that motive over and over again, you just start to hear it, and then the muscle memory kicks in, and then you can just change the notes, keep the roll. That's the big deal. A little E flat 9 chord right there on the 8/8/6. Yeah. So and then Alison Brown. Yeah, so that's just regular Scruggs style. Okay, cool. Now for the Dwangy lick. So this thing, it sounds like this. Maybe you can hear it. So it's. So you can't see it there. But anyways, there's the Dwangy lick. We're bending the flat 7 up to the 1 on the first and second strings. And then this thing, this is a 6-note pattern. That's when it repeats itself on the downbeat. So this guy right here, so the hard part is going to be the single string problem where you go thumb and then index cross strings, and then the pull off. And I do a triplet at the top. It's the same thing. So that's like, and of course the most important part, you got to put on a face that like looks like you smell something real nasty, you know? And then when you get to that downbeat, like I said, you go into the scale pattern, and that thing we've already talked about. And then and that's just like just a part of the scale pattern, just a different slice, right? So we've attacked that kind of over here too, but it's more or less the same thing, but you just got to aim for that downbeat to kick off the pattern. And then right here, and then we come out of it. This is the joint. This is the kind of thing that I meditate on, but this is how you connect a piece to a piece. And this is part of like Why I like putting things in tab and figuring it out is because you can figure out what the junction is that connects one piece to one piece. And generally speaking, when I'm doing this and I'm figuring it out, once I write it, I can be like, okay, that's a square roll. And then when I'm playing it, I just have to think square roll, and it all kind of comes together. Because then, as I said before, we go into this motive. Like, remember, it was like, now it's, now we're ending on a gamma D7. Same roll. Okay, cool. Now we got this more like shreddy kind of thing. Okay, cool. So what's going on there after the So the trick to this, it's again minor pentatonic, index forward. You're bending that 10, that's the flat 7. You don't need to bend, well, you kind of bend that 1, but then up to the minor third. Is this your index finger is going to switch from the 3rd to the 2nd string. Again, likewise, you have to put on the face that smells something nasty. Okay, so this is also one that I had to practice a lot because for some reason it ends on the and of 1 on the next beat. But so and that's how you end on the downbeat. But anyways, just going up the minor pentatonic. So that rhythm is kind of weird. That's a downbeat. So it's like right around here is where it gets displaced. And then go up the minor pentatonic, and then just forward roll. And then double stops. Cassidy told me I needed more double stops in my improv, so this lick goes out to Cassidy. And that's just going down G minor scale. Not dominant. Right there, yeah. Also notice they're on the offbeats. And then forward backward roll. Right there. Scruggs style, bend that 6. Okay, again. Smell something nasty. Okay, so now here comes the part that we've all been waiting for. This solo, which is basically So I'm pretty sure this is like the culmination of that whole melodic style meditations video, and I talked about it a lot. But this is the piece. Again, it starts with that inside forward roll. So this is just like, you can get so much out of this. And like, if you guys watch the Huckleberry Hornpipe video, of which I have got a good analysis for. Now we're doing the same rhythm, but change the notes. So now instead of like G major, we're doing G minor. Yeah, and we just got to change the chords a little bit. So anyways, if you guys have gotten this far, I trust you can read the roll. But the one thing that I want to say is navigate by chord inversion. We got gamma G minor. Thumb gets the flat 7. Oh, sorry, I said that's alpha G minor 7. The next one, you navigate to the gamma G minor 7. And then this guy right here, it's kind of like out of that melodic, we already talked about. It's kind of in between alpha and beta. It's kind of like a beta G minor. So yeah, I'll trust that you guys get that, but I just want to make sure you're navigating by saying alpha G minor, gamma G minor 7, and then the beta G minor 7. All these have to do with G minor. So I'll trust you get the rolls. It's mostly forward rolls and backward rolls, and the trick is going to be having it be inside, which is where the middle finger goes to the 2nd string. Okay. So yeah, and again, it's just a scale pattern, you know? Yeah, and then again, the critical joint is that this guy, it doesn't start on the root, it starts on the minor 3rd. The critical joint is this, and I think I talked about that, but that's the kind of thing, like in my banjo meditations, that I search for. You just gotta look for that middle reverse roll on the alpha D chord in this case. And then this guy, that's just like a really nice melodic style arpeggio. Again, another little joint that I meditate on is that middle reverse roll is the important one. That's how you get out. You land on the open fifth string on the down of 4 that gets you into the next motive. Yeah, so again, that little piece right there is the important. That middle reverse into the thumb chord. And then it's that reverse roll that switches from the inside to the outside is what gets you out into the next motive. Okay, and now this guy, I mean, I'm sure all you guys have seen Baleflex like Freeborn Man solo. It's this is a different melodic. This is a different motive on that. So I'm pretty sure this right here, if it were it is a palindrome. Again, what's going to be difficult is playing the middle finger going from the second string to the first string. But you'll get it, and it just plays itself because it feels like a forward-backward roll. And yes, I did have to like strength train my thumb to be able to do this. There was a while where it hurts, and I still get like weird calluses on my thumb from playing this style. Okay, so what's this? Again, here's a different motive going out of it. So it goes from an 8-note roll to a 4-note roll. And then... And again, it's that scale pattern now starting on beat 3, so it's displaced, and then ending with that little square roll thing at the end. That little guy. So it's just that regular scale pattern that is really worth practicing. It's like that same one, and I'm going to be doing that a lot in my next coming series, but just in different ways. And then you just aim for that square roll on the downbeat, and you're out. Okay, cool. Good job, everybody. Okay, we're almost at the end. This is the third break. This is all, it's mostly the same. Foggy Mountain. So this is all the same. That's all the same. That's all the same. That is kind of like we had middle forward before, but now it's Foggy Mountain into it. And then this guy, you go up the thirds of those chord tones, and then da 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 instead of da da da. So a different variation. Okay, now this guy. Cool. So again, you can see like the units that are being employed here. So this guy right here, we already talked about it at length and a few different ways. And back to this, and now there's a different suffix to take out of it, which is kind of like a slice of this thing. Again, ending it with that square roll right there. So there's like a bunch of different ways to play the same thing, right? Okay, cool. So now, oh, this little triplet. This is like Jens Kruger. I never actually played this one, but it's like this, which is more major, but... Okay, cool. That's all the same. Oh, I forgot to mention this guy right here. You put the F. You put the F on the top, and it becomes like a real, instead of like it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like more shiny. It sounds more colorful. Okay, now this guy, I couldn't resist doing like a little Foggy Mountain breakdown. This is all Foggy Mountain breakdown, minor pentatonic. G minor, alpha G minor, beta G minor, D, gamma D, alpha D7, and then shift, so D. Okay, now this guy, I had to include it because this is like I mean, this is like basically like the one lick that I based this whole song around, and I never learned it. And I don't know, there's just something weird that makes minor pentatonic melodic style banjo different than major melodic style banjo. This is a different roll than... It's just different. So anyways, it all came to this. And that's just, it's just this. It's the same lick. Yeah, and then this 6 right here, that can also be a 10 right here. It depends on when you want to shift. I mean, you can also do it like that. That's probably actually how I did it. Yeah, I think I probably did it like this. You can shift it anywhere you want, but it's just, you just got to get that F note. So yeah, that's my... And then again, there's that little square roll that ties the knot. That's super important. And then this guy, again, which I think we already played, this may be a different variation. Yeah. That one has the, on beat 3, a different variation. But again, it's that pattern. Okay, cool. And then the outro, of which we've already spoken. So anyways, that concludes this analysis of Come Hither, Go Yonder. Thank you all so much for listening, and thank you all so much for your support. Like I said, this was a video that I really pushed myself for, because it feels really good just to learn music. There's something therapeutic about it, and also for me, just the way my mind is wired, and like when I was in high school, how much I just like learned melodic style banjo. And I don't know, like I like piano is just too simple. It's like one note, one key. On banjo, you have like 5 different notes or 5 different ways to play one note. And for some reason, it just like has captured all of us. And we all love to figure out the banjo. So this was a labor of love. I really hope that you've gotten something useful from it. I really hope that, I guess maybe you can look into my process a little more and see that this kind of thing, it does not come out of me automatically. It takes me weeks to work this stuff out. And it also gives me a tremendous respect for, you know, Bela Fleck and seeing how much melodic style banjo he does and how intimately I know his music. You know, and all other banjo players who have to learn melodic style, it's a job. And if you're out there learning melodic style banjo, I am with you. And I'm really happy to be sharing this art on the internet. So much love to all you who listened to this whole thing. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.